was a man kwaba na me ha emfa nwumra se de etie ni adwumadi so e wa Adom TV so ere yanko ponse se ode enen so wacha ya madika aka se ene yi sorry Africa teso na se moja ediwe mu afunsane a no wehunu se etwedi ampo Nyankopon na ode ene so ade ya chew na ene se ne wankasa onim se ne man ne moko no ye gina court se a so man anti-crofobia ashase e kan se aban onye yiye na appointees ni ade ne se this time around ogina court nti ama amebo ne no ma hodo no mu aden otie ye from parliament and na the MPP Koko side ebenyo onabo ya fanyu marken say kase the MPs in parliament are trying to sabotage the business of government. The entire kasa we don't know, but unim say ebani mremu a Baba Jamal nipa ba kwa oye lawyer na okọ court na ohwe NDC on lawyers akoko da mahodo a ekogire mo Supreme Court lawyer Baba Jamal eka ho enti yepese ye ni ditwe nkomo na yebisa no the see wo court potin ne the judges ahodo o ka kire mo no mom de kon dan court ne akokoba ne say ruling aba ya tro ni nyina off no yepese ye ni di nkomo na yebisa ne say enu ade importe na ekosi e wo court Baba Jamal bibia boko de
Nyame Adom bibia boko
ye de nyame ase enu a asetena wo court ade importe na si
yo enra am say ye koye bibia ye freno case management conference eternity was CMC no ana is like pre-trial CMC no ne tofa ina say judges no be transe any parties na Kenya no ma hwehwe nsem no asem wo ye ben se wo ye ben se besen ye kwakọ kansam ne se ne be kan se ne be kan ya ye hu nhihye yi na awon hihye ni bi ni se emre ben na mo be ka ensem ben ne ye hwe wan wonu nsem wo he wenzo ni nsem on file obi ava ne nu nsem mra ne aka ni na asi adanura no de am se ne asi o Supreme Court no an kono yi kakra amayen
Baba who your lawyer ni Nkrofo start can mean say whether you buy into this idea say judges are who do a panel so are you comfortable with them?
Oh, minia media me pese me comment on that at all. I didn't hear me commenting say Matisa Manfo kansem we kansem. The court is supposed to administer justice. Obi bianso T panel no so din so say he will administer justice, fairness, and he will be fair to everybody. So I want to believe say Obi or T panel no is ready and prepared to administer justice the way it should.
Okay.
And I would take it say Omanya take it out no, give them the benefit of the doubt. And feel and believe, say, as a Ghanaian, when I go before the Supreme Court, the highest court of this land, I must get justice. And I'm a So that is what I would say. But I would not want to pry into the facts that whether it is fair or balanced or whatever. No. What I'm saying is that the whole world is watching Ghana. This thing is Seleka's life. And I'm a There are people across the world watching what is happening. Questions that are asked, decisions that are taken. So I believe that the justices want to discharge their duties very well and ensure that their credibility as Supreme Court judges is not tainted in any way.
Baba, more than 12 questions echo court say you wanted to ask the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. And in terms of court able to go. Nkrofo say that act was you going on a fishing expedition.
We don't agree with them at all.
Why won't you agree? Because the substantive case that was already court, those were questions and by this time you should have had answers to, or probably have an evidence when. But when you are going to court to go and ask those questions, it's more or less like kwako bisa question na fe when you so edia
obi obeka sabia no odnim mram on timrasi because what timrasi onim say emram no ye wo bibi e friend discoveries makwan ma yehwehwe nneema be disclosures ne way na so what must say and untina in fact in our courts judicial system no say Ghana one of our cardinal rules say we don't want surprises in court. No surprises. Into the Obaba court now also kita with documents in so what must say into kita documents now kita no so no I was send me one no casam no yede would be mano into so be me no casam na wo document bi kura na minim say document hu be hia men but um person de mama me a me me file application for discovery na o de sa document na yede amame so what must say and for inspection na maba hwe documents na din na any documents are ukita what must say it is all part of our system to be a team ras bia no nka say ye person pen information or court yes court what to me information court what me ko won obi ka sem na de bi court no won try say what me no ka amon dey say ade no ba so it's not a new thing say what must say na dey new as obi ka say new thing niani bi say electoral commission so man nsem no bi o electoral commission kwa na betime yi ano for example one of the questions they say time ben no who say declaration o ye no 9 for no mistakes o mu o betime yi ano
da bi electoral commission na betime yi
electoral commission kwa na betime yi ano and also no hwe books no mo he na obi hu za answer no nte na ebinum kasa questions am bisa yi na wo books no ma na me ntoma se because questions no bi ho no ma me no kwa na betime be yi ano Satma say, and is obi because ye adi enim dada na ye pese ye bisa. On say me di ba ko petu ja no on say. For example, ye bisa say, most mu use faxes na ye. Did you have muni NCA? Omo bua mo kwan bia so because so person transmitting secret documents bia. You can request the NCA to help you. Nti ye bisa sa question na aye bone ana.
Baba, now, some questions na mo bisa. Was it not part of the petition? No, part of my document I'm the court.
No, you see, we have complained about the transmission. Once the whole court down, you give all the broad issues.
Yes.
So, more broad issues now. As you go in, you fill in the issues. So, into those questions, are questions that NFL say it will help us resolve some few matters.
But who share the response? The first respondent, the man, it's more or less like to say, some questions here mo be saying. It is part of the response. On where the back it's part of the response of the back quarter. Why then do you come back to court trying to orally ask that question for it to be
answered? Interrogatories, interrogating a paper near them.
Yes.
They say, no, why do you not show? Maybe cry yes, keke. Maybe you know. Maybe cannot comment. Maybe sort my say. And that into uncommon interrogations. Because I say once and once, and I maybe say one question, you answer on baby. And to be any answers Nina. For example, you see, let me make it clear. There is the position of the law, and there is actions taken by people entrusted with the authority to do that. So that must say. And this is a law no you say here. If you see 127, and I send a public elections. And we are
yes.
That is the standard. The question we are asking is that what you did? So what must I say?
But
for example,
you do have an evidence to the fact that Ebano CI 127 he did something contrary to CI 127.
That is why we are asking you, who's supposed to discharge that duty.
But when you look at the CI 27, it stipulates ways and means. Was he a transfer
how to
from
do it?
Yes.
How to do it?
And he said,
so what did you do?
No, it is a Uber court, and I said Uber bisa the electoral commission. How did you do it?
Yes.
It is more or less like trying to say, you knew that he did not go by the CI to 127.
If I am entrusted with a position, to follow a particular law, not a law no. My young juma no be some say I'm running it to home now and no fast and then make a simple eye and I'm yes and I'm if you have been then no the burden will now shift to us see be proof say next ana we there you see all these interrogatories no we emramu emrano the way na by send the be ya in some kikamu no you be in some be free mo. So that must say because ABA and some will grant ABA and give electoral commission we no grant. Etea ne maame na ka no kra na bia na suit no kra bia na hu hia kra ndi en we drop ra. Na kasam na ye den echetiawa. Ana ebe oh maame na asem na obisa na bia na we asem foforo bi kra we kire wo se ye den court no ye den ehunu.
Okay.
So these are all help to expedite the work of the court. Unfortunately, the court rather refused this based on expedition of the court. Say irrelevant.
Baba, Usha CI 127, yeah. A mao, a kwanya hodua, I was a electoral commission first year in the June.
That's the standard.
Yo, and he said, you think say something has gone wrong, and that's when you saw the burden of proof now comes to you.
No.
Say, no, the burden of proof now comes to you. Into who I would say,
no,
he did not do something right, or you are asking questions, but the answers to your question are in CI 127.
No, listen, let me ask you a question. When we have access to admit whether there were errors in the system, CI 127, a council could declare error. Maybe so.
Dabi.
Into a
But I say you
maybe so a woman.
Dabi any mrenum.
And can't you say declare error? Into Kase, Bibia womrenuma. 2. CI 127, a hint says, so we are mistaken. Now, be correct here for press statement and a correct. A hint CI 127 countries. So Uba be declare results. Results that way you say in Penin say, baby a chicha abuano or 1 year son no. Na say what Baba a public declaration of results. No why you mistake her. I didn't also ye. I was saying go the same ega anameboa publicly. Na agents na huni na no ba. No mu ina ba be tina say na san kan the correct one anameboa. Na why nyen say I was say my mistake na me the press release are correct. And here na CI 127 na say for press rating equality election results. And in any case, the election results, when corrected, no, why no when the sign form, no, you be no question, no, why no when the signs are formed, no? Because according to the law, no, the agents must sign. It is only when the agents refuse to sign that is their own choice. But if they are there and they want to sign, they must be given opportunity to sign. Or even if they won't sign, they give reasons why they won't sign.
And so in this case, are you by any means saying, sir, your representative, no more ECS at that time, were not given the opportunity to sign
the press release? Were they part of the press release? That corrected the 9th correction. Omo part.
No.
Omo honey draw. You see the press release.
But for the first one, no declare, you know, representatives no almost signed.
And I may tell you for the first one, according to the electoral commission, parts of it were signed, not all. So
okay, so those that were not signed. Wasn't but that the electoral commission did not give it to them, but they opted not to sign?
Of course, if they opted not to sign, that is not the fault of the electoral commission.
Yes.
The electoral commission can go on. The electoral commission, oh, press release, no. And of fair parties in your guys, okay, who mistakes be all into my new calculations, no. Into forms and no be answer, no be a case. That's the difference then.
Okay.
But where on one the press release, Baba Bonten say, oh, yeah, mistake in the correct, the careful cry. And change the BBA. One and a year's calculations. Because the calculation is supposed to be done with the agents present.
Yes.
Yes. So if you don't do that, have you followed the law?
But the changing of the figures, was there an addition or subtraction of figures? Or
whatever.
It was just a grammatical error.
Well, it is not grammatical error because in calculation, grammar don't come in. It is according to her, she used the wrong figure as the common denominator. Instead of using the total valid votes, she used the total vote cast or something. Whatever it is, it's calculations which is wrong.
Okay.
So if his calculations is wrong, and I make say you know Sedea. You benefit say what declare election here now or not declare election. I didn't know why mistake no. That is the crux of the matter.
Okay, but these 12 interlocutors are what they call court. The Supreme Court, has thrown it away.
We have applied for a review.
A review, yes, but then
yes.
and it's in the wisdom of the court, they feel say 12 now will file, it doesn't add up into that. They treat it out of court.
But we have asked for a review because we don't agree with them. We don't agree with them, and we have that right. Say, Supreme Court ruling and you don't agree, yes. You file a review
And upon the review, do you think there will be any changes? Because per the law, no,
we are
review, no, they are now 7 on the panel, and so by review they will add whether 2 or 3. And
yes, whatever number they will add. But what I'm saying is, we have filed a review because we don't agree, and once we don't agree, it means, and we have filed a review, it means that we are hoping for a change.
And if that change, now will come, is the change comes in a positive way to your side, does it have any effect on the substantive issues?
Of course, it has the potential of changing some few issues or even raising additional issues. So I remember, say, even one of the justices can say, okay, because lead counsel no raise this issue. And I can say, oh, if there's any this thing, you can apply for additional issues to be considered.
Considered, yes.
And I said, why do you want to go and apply it later when we can resolve this matter and have our final issues correctly done? So what must say? So that is our opinion. So, well, we could have taken this thing earlier. So what must say? And so, my brother, we think that we don't agree with the Supreme Court judges. We think that there's some form of miscarriage of justice, and for that matter, we want a review of their position.
Okay. Baba, utie from the second respondent, especially you take it from the MPP. And especially one of their counsel, Nanabi, is part of their legal team. Because issues are taken to court. Those issues don't have space in law. It doesn't hold water. And he will not be surprised if the courts end up throwing your issue.
That is if he knows something I don't know. Because I know we are going to court to look for justice. And we have a solid case that we are taking there. And if he has turned himself into the judge, or he knows something I don't know, that is his case. But as far as I'm concerned, we have a solid case. We are going to do our best to prosecute it. The onus lies on the judges to come out with their final position. So what must say? As at now, he is our opponent. So do you expect him to say we have a good case? So if he has said that, that is his opinion.
But Baba, do you think you have a case in court?
I wouldn't have been sitting here talking to you about this
but
case.
No,
Wait. I say I wouldn't have been sitting here talking to you about the case.
Okay.
If I don't think we have a good case.
Okay.
I have even asked you here, sir, when a person declares an error and intends to change the error, what should have been the procedure? If we want fairness. You come to sit in public, the whole world look at you, and you declare something that you realize that it is a mistake. If it's a mistake, do you go and hide somewhere and draft a press release and release it? Why don't you come and sit before the cameras and also tell the whole world that what we declared yesterday was wrong, there was a mistake with what we declared, but today we are giving you the right distance, so that all the agents will be there to witness it. That alone, doesn't it ring any wrongdoing bell in your ear?
But as to whether that bit, that mistake, has any tendency of changing or having an effect on the absolute
That's why we are in court.
Another thing.
That's why we are in court.
Yes.
So that mistakes, in our calculation, in our view, putting the figures together don't add up. And that's why we are in court, seeking the court, the ultimate court of the land, to let the Electoral Commission do the right thing.
Okay.
That's why we are in court.
Okay. Baba, the microphone be now can the mukatre abontin. I think sir on the eve day, the ex-president John Dramani Mahama, the press release now. Or my Etea say, look, the NDC has won. He has won majority in parliament and all that. Most abontin, including General Secretary of your party, Eka say, will be any election. No? Now going into court with that petition, you are not telling us you won. And it is more or less telling us different things in the public. And when you go to court, you are telling us all different things.
You see, when I hear people say this, I always want them to understand, sir, we have not said anything different in court. The only thing is that we have put them in legal jargons for court purposes. So what must I say? If I say I won, and then somebody is declared president, and I say that the person didn't win, and I go to court and say that by the calculation I have done, the person does not meet the threshold to become president. Have I said anything different?
Yes, you've said something different.
What have I said different?
When you tell me that we win election, now you go to court and you say, Nipa na ya declare ni winner, no? And winning.
Do you know,
are you by any chance saying, say, which way we need election?
Do you know that you can win election in Ghana but cannot become president? What may winning election in Ghana, only president?
No doubt about
it. It is a quarter. You are not talking winning one sem na woka meeting the constitutional requirement of the land.
Yes.
So what must say?
Yes.
So me nko dina court enim kakana me kase ma winning. Me winning is sign. And once on the man of coins on for figures no better abonten electoral commission. Electoral commission figures no gradia better abonten na me say some figures no they better abonten because me 5 figure be am I. And I mean who can say me the figure be baba. And in your the figures na ban figures no they ban ye figures me say figures no kra no infum so na ye figures ni here. Papa na we declare because by our we are dealing with declaration.
Yes.
Papa na we declare no. We nya 50% plus 1 na constitution no gas on day. So we are not just talking outside say we so what must here. We are talking about official declaration with figures.
Okay.
And the end me be no gas me win is them. Unya gas we need there na was say we do figures here then. Eba. Because figures no and official figures. So what must here. For example, when you see what Techiman South now. Electoral Commission declare obi more parliament. So that must say. But yes, you could the pink sheet. Your calculations in no. You see pink sheet no. You nipa na wini. But here court no. We are basing it on the figures of the Electoral Commission. Said they have done the wrong calculation. So you see, if you are outside, the way you say things, when you change the same things into legal jargons, it changes.
Okay.
So what must say? It changes.
But it doesn't change the substantive issue.
But it doesn't change the substantive issue. Say, not when we need election, you know.
Okay. And Baba, meaning that you are not challenging the validity of the election, but yet the declaration.
We are challenging, as for the elections, it had been validly held.
Okay.
But the figures has been wrongly declared. So what must say? As for the election, it has been validly held. But as for the figures, it has been wrongly declared. It is the wrong declaration of those results that we are asking the Supreme Court to look into. Okay. So what must say? Okay. So if the Electoral Commission says, Papa, we need 6 million, we need say. Now you say, 6 million, what was that my figure for? Figure for no, so what's the detachment at Kraka? And you're then. But we this settlement to come a change in the is that not legitimate questions that we should ask?
But is it asking us to challenge the validity of the election, or we are really just challenging the declaration? Because social the procedures are who anymore. Yes, we've gone through the election. You are unable to say, sir, in this particular constituency. President Enyawe and ABS sign here anyway. And now this constituency, no results in buy as a sign. And if you are unable to establish any of the results coming from any of the polling station as a sign, how then do you come back to challenge the declaration?
You see, people, the CI 16,
yes,
which is the Supreme Court rules. Under 68, challenging of election of president. So the law allows us to challenge election.
Okay, yes.
This is what has been amended by CI 99.
99, yes.
Some way, no. So there is a rule or a procedure to challenge petitions. So when you are challenging petitions, you challenge petitions and group them under broad groups.
Okay.
For example, Mekase, there were wrong calculations. I should be able to identify 10, 20 constituencies or polling stations. Those wrong calculations are
yes.
If I say Padina, I should be able to identify 100 because we have 38,000 polling stations.
Yes.
And we are dealing with about 14,000 that have problems.
14,000.
14,000 that have various problems. So you cannot come and be mentioning polling station by polling station. You group them together. Errors, this, pardon, this, overvoting, this. What must say? This is the way we go. And so people can say, let the person wait and follow the trial. So when it gets to the details of it, the groups will be shown, the part where pardon has taken place, where error calculations have been taken place. For example, I can tell you that about 11 constituencies, even the constituency summary sheet, there were mistakes in it, in terms of writing the figures.
Out of 38,622 polling stations,
about 14,000 have some few problems. Some problems in them, in terms of either calculation, in terms of other writing the figures. Maybe a crowd throw figure, now no throw wrong words. So what must say wrong words, no throw right figure. So what must say all those ones are there. But so you cannot come and say, and you have 38,000 polling stations. Can you come and say, for example, if there's pardon in 1,000 polling stations, you can call it 3,000 in now. So we would just give examples.
One would have expected that some.
No, but we have added the pink sheet. We have given the evidence to the court. All the evidence is in the court, so don't worry. But all those issues will come.
Those polling stations are that kind of mistakes and as a wrongdoing and error. No, agent assign.
Some sign, some no sign.
Okay.
Depending on which polling station.
Okay.
Some sign, some not sign.
Okay.
There are even polling stations that presiding officers and Gazakuna have not signed. Or they've signed at the wrong places. They've signed at the wrong places. And it was declared. And it is part of the calculations. So all these details, can come up only when we go into the case. Then we will be able to identify them one after the other gradually, so that we'll be able to say, oh, this is what we are saying, or this is what we are saying.
Baba, it's nice having you. Your friend, lawyer Baba Jamal, or no, NDC for one banner and name for a woman. I call Ekojina, President John Dramani Mahama. Esa ono eka ho na okokot ono na emeni na twetwen komo e wo se de etie na adwumadi so ye frem da che hene na ya asante